Hello everyone, my name is Mudud Gupta. I'm a verified educator at Unacademy, and this is the class on government schemes in which we'll be discussing about uh, different government schemes that are really important from this year's prelims as well as the mains examination point of view. So we'll be discussing about all these schemes in this particular class. So the first topic that we'll be starting with is Ayushman Bharat program. This is the first program that we'll be looking at. This is the first program that we'll be starting with Ayushman Bharat program, a very important government health scheme that has been launched by the government of India. Ayushman Bharat. Basically, if we talk about the Ayushman Bharat program, then it consists of two parts. One is the primary health and wellness centers. This is the one component of Ayushman Bharat program, and the second program is for secondary and tertiary healthcare. Right, this is what is Ayushman Bharat program. It has two components. Right, now if we talk about the primary health and wellness centers, then these are the centers that would be established by the government of India to set up 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers. 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers would be set up by the government of India under the Ayushman Bharat program. This is one feature. If we talk about the second feature, then to target the secondary and the tertiary health, to target the secondary and the tertiary healthcare, the government of India has come up with Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, PMJAY. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Right. If we talk about this particular scheme, then this is a scheme that provides rupees 5 lakh health insurance coverage to the beneficiary families. ₹5 lakh insurance cover would be provided to the beneficiary families, and these families, they would belong to both rural as well as urban areas. Right, it would belong to both rural as well as urban areas. Now, when this health insurance cover would be provided, this particular insurance coverage would be provided only and only if the beneficiary is getting admitted in a secondary or a tertiary healthcare center. अगर आप मैक्स, फोर्टिस, अपोलो, एम्स ऐसे हॉस्पिटल्स में, सेकेंडरी और टर्शियरी हॉस्पिटल्स में इफ यू आर गेटिंग एडमिटेड, तभी आपको ये 5 लाख रुपए का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस कवर मिलेगा. नाउ इफ यू टॉक अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम इन डिटेल, देन the beneficiaries in this particular scheme are families. This scheme would be implemented at the family level. For example, let us say there are 3 members in a family, A, B and C. Only 3 members are there in a family. Just suppose. Let us say A is suffering from cancer. right? He got admitted in a hospital and his bill was, let us say, 3 lakh rupees. Now, since he is getting admitted in a secondary or a tertiary healthcare center and his bill is 3 lakh rupees and he is an intended beneficiary under the scheme, so his bill would be paid by the government. Out of the 5 lakh rupees insurance coverage, his bill of 3 lakh rupees, that would be paid by the government. ओके मतलब हमने ये देखा कि 5 लाख रुपए का जो है हमारा नेट है, 3 लाख रुपए खर्चा हो चुका है. नाउ 2 lakhs are still remaining, 2 lakhs are still pending. Now let us say B is suffering from dengue. He got admitted at AIMS and his bill was 3 lakh rupees again. Now this bill, it won't be paid by the government. Government would only pay 2 lakh rupees because the remaining limit is 2 lakh rupees. So government would only pay 2 lakh rupees and the remaining 1 lakh, that would be paid by the family itself. Getting this point? That 5 lakh is the total amount that the government would provide. 3 lakhs, it was spent by A. Another 2 lakhs have been spent by A. The remaining 1 lakh here, that would be paid by B itself. Right? And this 5 lakh rupees insurance cover, it would be renewed next year. So for 1 year, the government is giving 5 lakh rupees insurance cover. It is not giving cash benefit. It is not transferring the cash in your bank account. It is giving the insurance cover that would be transferred into the bank account of the hospital. जो सीधा का सीधा आपका बिल बना, वो अमाउंट हॉस्पिटल के बैंक अकाउंट में चला जाएगा. एक साल एक फैमिली 5 लाख रुपए, approximately 10 crore beneficiary families, they would be identified from both rural as well as urban areas. Now the question is, what is the cap, upper limit or lower limit upon the family age and size? कि जो एक परिवार है, जो एक बेनिफिशियरी है, उनके एज और साइज पे क्या लिमिटेशन है? There is no limitation. The size of the family could be 5 members, 10 members, 12 members, 8 members, 1 member, 2 member, 3 member. Family size could be anything as long as they are intended beneficiaries. So family size can be anything. उसमें 8 लोग हो सकते हैं, 10 लोग हो सकते हैं, 12 लोग हो सकते हैं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Apart from that, the age of the family, that is also variable. There is no limit on that. It can be a 1-month child, it can be a 99-year-old lady or a man. So there is no cap on age as well. If a family has been selected, if a family is available, if the family is intended to get the benefit, family would get it irrespective of the size and age. The next question that arises is, which hospitals would provide this benefit? First, the public hospitals, that is all the government hospitals, they will provide the benefit. Secondly, all the listed hospitals, listed private hospitals, they would provide the benefit of the scheme. Who are the listed private hospitals? Those who are getting registered themselves with the government, जो अपने आप को register करा रहे हैं. For example, let us say there are two hospitals. There is Fortis and there is Max. Just suppose. Let us say Fortis says, yes, I want to get registered. So if a beneficiary is getting admitted in Fortis, he will get the health benefit. Now let us say Max is saying that I don't want to get registered in this scheme. This scheme is not profitable for me. मैं scheme का हिस्सा नहीं बनूंगा. So अब क्योंकि Max इस scheme का हिस्सा नहीं है, so if anyone is getting admitted in Max, they would not get the benefit of this particular scheme. They would not get the benefit of this 5 lakh insurance cover. So ये जो है सारे सरकारी अस्पतालों में तो applicable है ही, but it is applicable only in registered private hospitals, those who are getting registered with this particular scheme. Right, now the next question is, how the beneficiaries would be identified. The beneficiaries would be identified using the socio-economic caste census 2011. Those rural and urban families that are a part of the socio-economic caste census, which are there in SECC 2011, they would be intended beneficiaries. Approximately 10 crore households would be selected for giving the benefit of this particular scheme. Approximately 10 crore households, and government is assuming that the size of each of these households would be somewhere around 5. So on an average, approximately 50 crore beneficiaries would be identified. 10 crore families having an average size of 5. Right. Now let us cover the polity angle in this. What is the polity angle of this? Health, it is a stateless subject. Right. Health is a stateless subject, you all know that. This is a scheme that has been formulated by the central government. केंद्रीय सरकार ने इस स्कीम का संगठन करा है. It is up to the state governments whether they want to accept this scheme or not. Whether they want to accept this scheme or not. वो इस scheme के अंदर आना चाहते हैं या नहीं आना चाहते. For example, if we talk about West Bengal, where Mamata Banerjee is the chief minister, without getting into the politics, looking into the policy aspect, since health is a stateless subject, so West Bengal government has said that they won't be a part of this scheme. So if you are asked a question whether the scheme would be uniformly implemented across the country, no. It depends upon the state governments, whether they want to be a part of this or not. If they want to be a part of it, it would be implemented. Otherwise, state governments would have their own program related to the health. So Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is dependent upon the decision of the respective state cabinets. Right. So this is what is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Now we'll move towards the next scheme, next program known as the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign. As far as Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign is concerned, it is a campaign that has been started by the government of India to change the mindset. Basically, this particular scheme, it has three major components. Beti Bachao Beti Padhao has three major components, and they are these are the three pillars of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign. Survival of the girl child. Now, there are many people who get a girl child identified before the birth and they get it aborted under the PC and PNDT Act. Right. So, for better implementation of this particular act, to ensure the survival of the girl child, to ensure that the childbirth takes place and abortion does not take place, to ensure this particular thing, this is one component of the scheme. This would be implemented by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. After the survival is ensured, after it is ensured that the girl child would survive, the next component that we'll be looking at is the nutrition component. That the child is getting proper iron, the child is getting proper nutrition, the child is getting proper vaccinations, and that would be taken care by Anganwadis. And so this pillar, it comes under Ministry of Women and Child Development. The third component is the education, to ensure quality primary, secondary and higher education to the girl child. And so this component comes under Ministry of HRD. The purpose of this diagram is to tell you that Beti Bachao Beti Padhao is a campaign that has been started by three ministries: Ministry of Women and Child Development, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and Ministry of HRD. No cash transfer is involved in this particular scheme. No cash transfer is involved. It is an awareness campaign that is meant to bring about a mindset change. Right. So as far as the major aspects of this particular campaign are concerned, so it aims at challenging the patriarchal mindset. It aims at promoting girl child education, effective implementation of PC and PNDT Act, improving the child sex ratio, reducing the girl child mortality. Right. So this is Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. And also just a fact that International Girl Child Day is celebrated on 11th October. The next program that we'll be looking at is Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. This is basically a cash incentive scheme that has been started by, again, Ministry of Women and Child Development. This scheme, the intended beneficiaries are basically those people who are those women who are working in the informal, casual and unorganized sector. These are the major primary women who are the beneficiaries of this. Those who are working in the formal sector, those who are working in the government sector, they are not the part of this particular scheme. They won't be given any sort of incentive under this particular scheme. Right. Now, as far as this particular scheme is concerned, there are several conditions that are to be fulfilled for this particular scheme. Firstly, this scheme is valid only for first live childbirth. This scheme is valid only for first live childbirth. Somewhere at some places it is written that it is valid for 2 childbirths. No, it is valid only for 1 child birth. Right. It is valid only when the age of the women woman is 19 years or more. When the age of the woman is 19 years or more, then only this particular scheme, the benefit of this particular scheme can be given. The third is the cash transfer under the scheme is 5,000 rupees. At many places you will find 6,000 rupees. No, it is 5,000 rupees for 1 live childbirth if the age of the woman is more than 19 years. This is what the structure of the scheme is. These are the conditions. First live childbirth, age of the woman should be 19 years or more, and 5,000 rupees is the amount of cash transfer. Right. The next question that we'll address here is how installments would be transferred. First, 3 installments would be given. The first installment would be of 1,000 rupees, and this would be given after registration of pregnancy. If the lady is registering her pregnancy with the private with a healthcare center, with a registered healthcare center, she would get 1,000 rupees as cash transfer. The second installment would be given, that would be of rupees 2,000. This would be given on having at least 1 antenatal checkup after 6 months. मतलब कि अगर 6 महीने की प्रेगनेंसी के बाद एक आप चेकअप करा रहे हो एटलीस्ट, तो आपको 2,000 रुपए दिए जाएंगे, और साथ के साथ आपको जो वैक्सीनेशंस होती हैं वो भी आपको लेनी पड़ेंगी. जो प्रेग्नेंट महिलाओं के लिए वैक्सीनेशंस होती हैं वो भी लेनी पड़ेगी, और 6 महीने के बाद जो एंटीनेटल चेकअप होता है वो भी आपको कंपल्सरीली कराना पड़ेगा. अगर आपने ये सब कराया है तो आपको 2,000 रुपए और मिल जाएगा. The third installment is again of 2,000 rupees. That would be given after you have registered the childbirth and given him vaccines. The third installment would be given. The amount would be 2,000 rupees, and it would be given once you have registered the childbirth. That is birth certificate बनवा लिया उसका. अगर आपने बच्चे का बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट बनवा लिया है और प्रॉपर वैक्सीनेशन करा दी है फर्स्ट राउंड की, तो आपको बचा हुआ 2,000 रुपए भी मिल जाएगा. सो 3 इंस्टॉलमेंट्स हैं. दे आर अनइक्वल इंस्टॉलमेंट्स. दे आर नॉट इक्वल. प्लीज नोट, दे आर अनइक्वल इंस्टॉलमेंट्स. So 3 unequal installments, 5,000 rupees would be given to any casual, informal or unorganized female worker who is working in the unorganized sector. If she is pregnant, she would be given 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees in 3 installments after satisfying the following conditions. Right. Linked with this scheme only, Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, related to this scheme only, there is another scheme known as Janani Suraksha Yojana. What is the scheme all about? This scheme aims at reducing maternal mortality, reducing infant mortality rate, the major objective of this particular scheme is to promote institutionalized delivery. For example, let us say there is a lady who is pregnant. If she is having the baby delivered at her home only, then that is not institutional delivery. Institutional delivery means you are going to a proper hospital or a healthcare center and you are having a proper checkup, vaccinations, and then you are delivering the baby in the labor room. Then that is what is known as institutional delivery as per the government of India. Now, if you are going for institutionalized delivery under the Janani Suraksha Yojana, you would be given 1000 rupees cash incentive. If you are going for Janani Suraksha Yojana, if you are going for institutional delivery, then 1000 rupees cash transfer would be given to the intended beneficiary. So the crux here is, from Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, we have 5000 rupees, and from Janani Suraksha Yojana, we have 1000 rupees. So a total cash incentive of 6000 rupees would be given to the beneficiary if she is getting the benefits under both the schemes, under the Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana as well as Janani Suraksha Yojana. If she is getting benefits, if she is getting benefits under both the schemes, then she'll get 6000 rupees intended amount. Only and only upon institutional delivery. Only and only upon institutional delivery she'll get this 1000 rupees. Right. The next scheme that we'll be discussing is the Pradhan Mantri Mahila Shakti Kendra. This is a scheme that has been again started by Ministry of Women and Child Development, and this scheme has been started for 3 years, for 2017 till 2020. Under this particular scheme, 920 Mahila Shakti Kendra, they would be established. Now, what is the purpose of these Mahila Shakti Kendra? The purpose of this Mahila Shakti Kendra is to promote digital education, to promote skill training, to give them education about nutrition, to provide them vocational training so that they are job ready. They can be provided some sort of entrepreneurship, they can be provided some entrepreneurial support so that they can be empowered. So the major purpose of this particular Mahila Shakti Kendra is to promote women empowerment. As a part of this particular scheme, at the village level, Mahila Shakti Kendra would be opened up. At the village level. At the district level, district center for women would be opened up. This would be opened up at the district level. One point to be noted here is that at both the centers, at the village level centers and at the district level centers, only rural women would be empowered. This scheme is meant only and only for rural women. This scheme is only meant for rural women. This is not meant for urban women. इसमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ जो गांव के क्षेत्र की महिलाएं हैं उनका सशक्तिकरण इसमें किया जाएगा. Also, there is one more component in this Mahila Shakti Kendra scheme, and that is voluntary participation by college students. The students of college, they would be motivated to take up voluntary participation, to create awareness, to create awareness amongst the rural women regarding different policies and schemes of the government of India, regarding different health benefits that government is providing, regarding different educational and different financial benefits that the government of India is providing. Right. So under this Mahila Shakti Kendra scheme, these two centers would be set up, the Mahila Shakti Kendra and the District Center for Women, and along with that there would be voluntary participation by college students. Right. As far as this particular scheme is concerned, it is aimed at college students awareness generation, and all that voluntary contribution that I told you. The funding pattern would be, it is a centrally sponsored scheme. And so the funding would be 60:40 for the normal states and 90:10 for the center for the special category states. And one point that is to be noted here is that this particular scheme, the Pradhan Mantri Mahila Shakti Kendra, they come under Mission for Protection and Empowerment of Women. This is the umbrella mission under which this particular scheme is launched, under the Mission for Protection and Empowerment of Women. Right, so this is about Pradhan Mantri Mahila Shakti Kendra. Now we'll move towards Sakhi one-stop centers. They are different from Mahila Shakti Kendra. Sakhi one-stop centers are different from Mahila Shakti Kendra. As far as the Sakhi one-stop centers are concerned, they would be established by the government of India to provide assistance, to provide rehabilitation to the women who have been impacted by violence. Different types of violence, violence related to sexual abuse, drug abuse, acid attacks, domestic violence, any sort of abuse against any woman, they would be rehabilitated in these Sakhi one-stop centers. They would be established by the government of India. Let us say there is a woman who has been impacted by violence, who is a victim of violence. So she can go to these Sakhi one-stop centers. She can register a complaint. She would be provided with legal support. She'll be provided with rehabilitation services. She'll be provided with psychological services. She will be provided with rehabilitation. She'll be provided with good nutrition. Also, she'll be provided with a 5-day accommodation, that she can live in the Sakhi one-stop center for 5 days till she find another accommodation. So she'll be given a 5-day accommodation. Both urban and rural women are a part of this particular scheme. Mahila Shakti Kendra, they were meant only for rural women. Mahila Shakti Kendra were meant only for rural women, whereas Sakhi one-stop centers, they are meant for both rural as well as urban women. Right. The next scheme that we'll be discussing is the Kalo India initiative. This is the initiative that has been launched by Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Under this particular program, under this Kalo India initiative, the major objective of the government is to make India a sports power. To make India a sports superpower, this particular initiative has been launched, the Kalo India initiative. Right. Under this particular program, there is a 12-point agenda of the government of India to promote sports. Basically, under this 12-point agenda, they would be promoting the field development, infrastructure development. They will be providing the community coaching development. Basically, they would, under these 12 programs, under these 12 pillars, they'll focus upon all-round development of the sports. Provision of infrastructure, provision of alternative employment, provision of financial aspect, promoting sports for disabled. You must have seen the Paralympics and Asian Games for disabled people. Government is promoting the sports for disabled at a very large level. So the disabled people under this, they would be promoted. Girls would be promoted to take up sports, as a full-fledged activity. All these activities would be promoted: upgradation of sports infrastructure, talent search and development in rural areas, in backward areas, in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. The sports talent that would be inculcated, that would be hunted. Sports would be promoted for women. A mindset change would be brought about under this particular program, that sports are also equal for the all-round development of an individual. As a part of this program, the sports would be promoted at the national level, domestic level, state level, and school level as well. The school teachers, principals, and parents, they would be motivated to push their children for sports. Right. Also, as far as this Kalo India initiative is concerned, there is a cash incentive transfer that is involved in this particular scheme. And whichever sports person would be identified, he or she would be given 5 lakh rupees per year for 8 years. For example, there is a person who has left his studies and his job and he's totally focusing upon Olympics or any other games event that is coming up. He has been identified under the Kalo India initiative. So for 8 years, he would be given 5 lakh rupees per year. That is, in 8 years, he would be given approximately 40 lakh rupees. So this particular program has dual dimension. It brings about a mindset change, and apart from bringing a mindset change, it also aims at providing the financial benefit to the players. Right. So monetary component as well as the monetary component and the mindset component, both of them are involved. Right. The next scheme, the next program that we'll be focusing upon is Mission 11 Million. It is again launched by Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, and it focuses upon football. Kalo India was for comprehensive sport coverage. Kalo India was for all the sports coverage. Kalo India was for all the games, be it football, table tennis, lawn tennis, badminton, cricket. It was for all the games. But Mission 11 Million, it is exclusively for फुटबॉल. सिर्फ और सिर्फ फुटबॉल के लिए मिशन 11 मिलियन लॉन्च किया गया है. Under this particular program, the target of the government is to inculcate the habit of football, to promote football as a sport amongst 11 million school children. This would be implemented only at the school level. This initiative would be implemented only and only at the school level. Kalo India was for all the levels, be it the school level, college level, job level. Someone is 25 years age or 28 years of age, 21 years of age. So there was no age bar there. वहां पे कोई एज बार नहीं था, वो सब एज ग्रुप्स में एप्लीकेबल है प्रोग्राम. बट मिशन 11 मिलियन जो है, दैट इज ओनली एंड ओनली एप्लीकेबल फॉर द स्कूल चिल्ड्रन. Right. So this is only and only applicable for the school children, school principals, sports teachers, and parents. They would be promoted. They would be motivated so that they can allow their children to take up football as a sporting exercise, to take football as a part-time exercise, and ultimately promote this sports. Now you must be knowing that it is, only cricket that is promoted nowadays, only cricket all around IPL and all this. So to promote all the sports equally, this particular initiative has been launched, Mission 11 Million for football. Right. The next initiative, the next program that we'll be looking at is Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan. What is this? What is Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan? अगर हम नेहरू युवा केंद्र संगठन की बात करें, at the rural level, these are the clubs of rural youth that have been set up. Nehru Yuva Kendra are the clubs of the rural youth that have been set up. Why? The basic purpose is to do community service, to promote community service, to promote voluntary community service, such as creating awareness about sanitation, vaccination, about different issues, public health, polio vaccine, about infant mortality, about iron and folic acid tablets, about dengue, about pollution, about carbon emission, about stubble burning. अलग अलग मुद्दों के बारे में जो जनसंख्या है वहां की, उनको अवेयर करना, ये इस पर्टिकुलर जो यूथ क्लब है रूरल एरियाज में, उनका काम है. This particular scheme is only and only for rural areas. Only and only for the rural areas. नेहरू युवा केंद्र संगठन बेसिकली ये क्लब होता है कि जितने भी रूरल यूथ हैं, मान लीजिए गांव में क्लब बना दिया, जितने भी वहां के यंग लोग हैं, जितने भी वहां के यंग लड़के और लड़कियां हैं, उनका एक क्लब बना दिया. वो जाएंगे अलग अलग जगहों पे, अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करेंगे स्कीम्स के बारे में, प्रोग्राम्स के बारे में. इससे दो फायदे होंगे. इट वुड प्रोवाइड ड्यूअल बेनिफिट, एंड दैट इज फर्स्टली they will be spreading the agenda of the government amongst the people, and secondly it would enhance their own personality. लोगों से बात करेंगे, मिलेंगे, उनका व्यू पॉइंट समझेंगे, तो खुद के आचरण में भी एक फर्क दिखेगा, खुद की पर्सनालिटी में भी एक फर्क दिखेगा. सो इट सर्व्स द ड्यूअल पर्पस ऑफ प्रमोटिंग कम्युनिटी सर्विस एज वेल एज एनहांसिंग ओन पर्सनालिटी. Right. So these volunteers of the Nehru Yuva Kendra, they promote community participation. Now, the body that looks after all such clubs, जो नेहरू युवा केंद्र है वो एक क्लब है, मैंने आपको बताया, it is a club. In every village, in rural areas, there are such clubs, there are such नेहरू युवा केंद्रस. आंध्र प्रदेश के गांव में केंद्र हैं ऐसे, हरियाणा के गांव में ऐसे केंद्र हैं, सिक्किम के गांव में ऐसे केंद्र हैं, वेस्ट बंगाल के गांव में ऐसे केंद्र हैं. देयर आर दीज यूथ क्लब्स एवरीवेयर. द अम्ब्रेला ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दैट लुक्स आफ्टर ऑल दीज क्लब्स इज नोन एज नेहरू युवा केंद्र संगठन. नेहरू युवा केंद्र संगठन is the club, it is the umbrella organization that looks after all the clubs. This is Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan. These are the Nehru Yuva Kendra. Right. So these are the Nehru Yuva Kendra. This is the Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan, the autonomous body under the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. And under this umbrella body, there are all other Nehru Yuva Kendra. Right. So this is what is Nehru Yuva Kendra scheme. The next initiative that we'll be looking at is Mission Indradhanush. Mission Indradhanush is a universal vaccination program that is meant to ensure 100% vaccination coverage in the country. It is being implemented by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare that is implementing Mission Indradhanush. Now, under this particular initiative, children below the age of 2 years and pregnant and lactating women, they would be targeted to provide immunization. The diseases that are covered under this particular initiative are diphtheria, pertussis, which is also known as whooping cough, tetanus, DPT. These three are commonly known as DPT, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus. For polio, we have two types of vaccines. For polio, we have two types of vaccines. One is the oral polio vaccine. 2 बूंद जिंदगी की, आपने देखा होगा अमिताभ बच्चन वाला एड, 2 बूंद जिंदगी की बूथ्स लगते हैं, हर 1-2 महीने में बूथ्स लगते हैं, तो वहां पे जाके आप 2 बूंद जिंदगी की पीते हो, राइट? सो दैट इज ओरल पोलियो वैक्सीन. एंड नाउ recently government has introduced another type of vaccine that is known as injectable polio vaccine. So there are two types of polio vaccines available. One is the oral polio, that you are directly having the dose, the 2 drops. Injectable polio vaccine is basically that is given through injection. Now you must be asking, why 2 vaccines for polio? पोलियो के लिए 2 वैक्सीन क्यों? ऐसा क्या है? बेसिकली यू मस्ट बी नोइंग दैट India has fought a very long battle against polio, and recently we have been declared polio free by WHO. So India wants to maintain that status of polio free country, and so to ensure double protection for polio, Indian government is providing 2 vaccines under the Mission Indradhanush for polio. The oral polio vaccine, that is 2 बूंद जिंदगी की, and the injectable polio vaccine, that is injectable in nature, जो इंजेक्शन लगा के दी जा सकती है. Apart from this, the diseases that are covered are measles, rubella, rotavirus. Rotavirus is basically associated with loose motions and all. If a neonatal is having loose motions and excessive dehydration, then that can lead to the mortality of the neonatal. And so to prevent those kinds of viral diseases, this rotavirus vaccination is given. Then we have hepatitis B and tuberculosis. In some areas, in selected areas such as Eastern Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal and Assam, one more vaccination is given, and that is Japanese encephalitis, which is also known as brain fever. Japanese encephalitis vaccination, also known as the brain fever vaccine, it is given only in those areas that are inflicted by Japanese encephalitis. सिर्फ और सिर्फ उन्हीं एरियाज में दी जाती है जहां पे जापानीज एंसेफेलाइटिस काफी ज्यादा फैल रहा है, जैसे कि गोरखपुर वाला एरिया हो गया, ईस्टर्न उत्तर प्रदेश, असम, वेस्ट बंगाल, सम पार्ट्स ऑफ बिहार। सो बाकी सारी जो वैक्सीनेशन है वो पूरे इंडिया में दी जाती हैं, लेकिन जो जापानीज एंसेफेलाइटिस है वो सिर्फ लिमिटेड एरिया में दिया जाता है जहां पे जापानीज एंसेफेलाइटिस फैल रहा है। यूपी, बिहार, असम, वेस्ट बंगाल, सिर्फ इन एरियाज में दिया जाता है। राइट नाउ, government has recently introduced intensified mission Indradhanush. Within mission Indradhanush, government has introduced intensified mission Indradhanush. What is the purpose of this? Basically, under mission Indradhanush, government identified that there are several areas. There are certain areas where the vaccination program is not going as per the demand. जितना तेज होना चाहिए vaccination program, it is not that fast. So, to accelerate it, to promote greater vaccination coverage, this intensified mission Indradhanush has been launched by the government of India. The major focus of this particular program would be slums, backward areas, and underperforming areas. Under this program, the government will try to cover 90% of the population at least by December 2018, which is already a past date. जो date निकल चुकी है. Now we'll get to know in some time whether this target has been met or not. Whenever the new surveys of the government of India would be held, we'll get to know whether this target has been met or not. So, under the intensified mission Indradhanush, 90% immunization coverage is being targeted by December 2018. The special focus would be slums, backward areas, and underperforming areas. This comes under the umbrella program of Indradhanush only. इंद्रधनुष के अंदर ही आता है ये, कोई अलग से प्रोग्राम नहीं है, इंद्रधनुष के अंदर ही आता है ये, राइट? So this is it from this class. I hope all the schemes and programs are clear to you. Keep watching Unacademy. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. My name is Mudit Gupta. You can follow my free lessons and plus courses on Unacademy as well. So I'll be back with more schemes, more government programs very soon. Till then, keep watching Unacademy and thank you very much.